Well, Luke, there are a lot of people interested in hunts like this because it's different, right? This is a baited black bear, brown bear hunt, which is pretty unique. How long have they allowed baiting for brown bears in this area?
Usually baiting opens up around like April 15th, and it will continue till end of brown bear season, which is like June 15th.
And then you didn't used to be able to bait them, right?
No, never
so
used
this is
to.
kind of a newer...
Yeah, several years ago it kind of fell under like a predator control. There was overpopulated for brown bear and black bear, so they were just trying to knock down the numbers and kind of get things balanced out for the moose population.
And have you seen a difference in the moose population?
Yeah, for sure. The moose population has been increasing tremendously. Used to be a very small calf survival rate here, and I couldn't tell you what the percentage is now, but it's great. Back in the day, it was pretty unique to see a calf, and now you actually see two that actually survive.
And that's what's neat to me is the management making a difference. You know what I mean? Literally, the harvesting of these bears, flipping around. And I was blown away when I saw the size of not only some of the brown bears you guys have harvested, but also the black bears. These are really big black bears. And we're in the spring now, which your dad was talking about earlier, which was a great point. The bears are literally a couple 100 pounds, especially on a really large bear, lighter than they go into hibernation at right now. So the neat thing is, though, the hides are prime, beautiful. They're not rubbed out, long fur. So I had a blast today going around with you and looking at some of the different baits. You hear this thrown around a lot. You know, it's a 6-foot black bear, 7-foot black bear, or it's an 8-foot brown bear, 10-foot brown bear. Talk a little bit about, how you come up with squaring a bear.
Sure.
And it's something interesting for people to know, just to have a basis. A lot of people don't know that, and I didn't know it when I was younger. I would hear that and I'd go, "What does that mean? Does it mean it's a 10-foot tall bear?" But
Right.
that's not what it means. And since you shot your first bear at what, 9?
Yeah, I was 9 years old.
9 years old with your
bear.
dad.
Yes.
I think you'd be a great one to talk about that.
So it's the length of the body, not including the legs, nose, from the tip of the nose, tip of the tail, and then from the front paw to paw. And that's how we do like a typical square. And then try to measure some skulls.
And then what's neat about that is, and he brought up a great point, is you don't want to stretch them. I've seen people stretch hides, or like you said, if you hang it, you're going to get a different measurement. So a true squared bear is just laid out on the ground on a flat, even surface. So I think that might help somebody understand what a true squared bear is. Now, the setup that we did, we went out today, we checked some baits. I set up a stealth camera. I've got one of my stealth cams, a DS4K, which shoots high definition, and I've got it on video and still pictures, so we'll get some of both. So what's interesting here in Alaska, there's certain species you can hunt non-guided. So I've shot moose self-guided, where I just went out by myself, had somebody drop me off, took off. I've done caribou self-guided, Sitka black-tailed deer self-guided. But on a lot of the species, you have to hire a guide. So here Luke and his dad Tom at Alaskan Trackers, you guys not only guide the stuff that people can go out for themselves, but also the things that I legally have to have a guide for. So like the brown bear tag I have in my pocket, I have to have you or your father with me. Same thing with Dall sheep, same thing with grizzly, goat, you know what I mean? So there's other species. So check into that, because it's pretty interesting to see in Alaska what you can hunt by yourself or what you need a guide for. Talk to me a little bit about the plan so people understand when they're watching while we're videoing in the stands tomorrow. You're going to be watching me. You're going to try and give me a thumbs up or thumbs down on a brown bear. Do you suggest I wait for a brown, or would you just wait till the evening if we have a good black bear? Or what would you do? I guess, what's your advice?
I guess my advice right now, if a really nice black bear shows up and he's a shooter and you want to take him, that's the awesome thing about archery, because it's quiet, it can be stealth. And I would say take him, and we'll just wait in the trees, in the tree stands, and see what else, because a lot of times the bigger boar, brown bear, come in like really low, heavy dusk, low light. So I would play it that way. If throughout the days on the hunt, if I got one that I know a brown bear's hitting it, only because a lot of times they like to take over baits, and if they're taking over a bait, we'll focus only on the brown and skip hunting black bear that night.
You're heading out with Luke every day. Sometimes Luke and his father going out and checking the baits was the highlight of the day. We would go out there, check it out, they would bait, then I would set up some trail cameras. I brought 2 Stealth Cam DS4Ks with me, and those guys were blown away at the video we were getting. Those guys are used to reading sign and going, okay, there's a brown bear at this bait or a black bear at this bait. But when I set up the DS4K and we would come in and show them the video, it was awesome. I got so excited when I realized right off the bat we had a brown bear on bait.
Oh, look at the brown.
Look at this. Boom. That's what we want right there. Look at how cool that is. Get back out. Move, move, move.
Oh,
look at that.
That's a beautiful one. Definitely 8.
Oh, that's
better.
Incredible.
Woo!
We got brown bear on footage. First night. That's the first night we set out the camera.
Awesome. Yep, first
night.
That's
incredible.
Isn't that awesome?
Yeah. Oh, that's so neat. How often do you have black bears and brown bears on the same bait?
Oh yeah.
That's so cool.
Remember I told you they'll step right over the dead black bear carcass and come right in?